I had an accident today. Was pulling out a Pioneer onto Westinghouse. Westinghouse is like a kind of a major road there. It was raining, and I had already got out. The tractor has to turn, right? It's turning a right-hand turn. It's already out on the road, and this Mexican pickup truck runs up, and he nails me. He hits my tire. He got like a big, let's say a foot in length down, and in width maybe like my hand's length. Not, it's about more than a foot in length down. And he busted out his clearance light as well when he hit me. I looked at my trailer. I saw no damage on the trailer. I didn't look too hard at the tire. And I was so irritated because I just had the conversation with the dude that was training me. I had just had a conversation with him about how I hadn't had a ticket in 5 years, and how it was back. I hadn't even left yet. So go up to the Mexican dude, and he's like, "Let me call the police." Call the police. I said, okay, nothing else I really can say to that. And we wait. Police come out there, and I'm waving them down. And cop gives me a ticket. He doesn't really give us anything. He doesn't really look too hard at us. We didn't even have some of the information he needed. Thank God. Thank God he wasn't a trooper, because if he was a trooper and I had that, it'd be my CSA right now. I'd have an accident. Even though it's not my fault, it'd still be an accident. And I thought about this conversation my dad had about a couple weeks ago, where I told him about how many people in Miami are lowlifes. They're a bunch of lowlife, scandalous motherfuckers. That guy, someone told me that they think he sped up when he hit me, and then he weaved in my lane. I don't know about that. I think he sped up, but I didn't hear him slam on any brakes. Someone told me, because it's been raining so hard, you wouldn't have heard brakes, I guess. I think it was just, you have these people in Charlotte that just don't care, and they're just gonna try it. Any chance they get, they're gonna try. These are the same people that tailgate you going on the road when I'm on an open road right now, 2 lanes, 1 lane each side of me. This jackass would, run right behind me. These are the same people. Like, I'm not sure they understand depth, and you're following too closely, and this. I'm not sure they understand that. I don't hate Mexicans, but I just say you got some real low life motherfuckers out here. Real low life. It is what it is, because I thought he would slow down and hit me. Would I do it differently? No. I wouldn't do anything different. Nothing at all. Because, there was a car that was coming. I waited for the car, and I went out right after the car, and he was way around the curve. I think he had to accelerate it to have hit me. And then he kept telling like different stories. And so the cop was like walking him back past us to where that, and I could hear. I said, yeah, he's getting the stories mixed up. That's one thing they teach you, is, do the stories make sense? And when people keep changing the story, maybe it means they're making it up as they go along. It doesn't make sense. One thing they teach you, is this reasonable? Is it reasonable? Is it reasonable? Would a reasonable? That's one thing about the law of North Carolina is, with everything, is this something a reasonable person would do, whether it's a deadly force or a traffic accident? So, getting that out the way. I want to talk about, I guess, my attitude sometimes. Maybe sometimes I seem a little bitter or angry, and I am. It's weird, I've been kind of hitting on nothing the last couple of weeks, and this week, when I come up here, I had 45 hours. I just worked another 9. So, I'm in the 60s. I got overtime. So I'm kind of in a good mood, positive mood. And I know sometimes when I make these videos, I'm very bitter. What I tell you guys about hoping these rednecks die from COVID, that's out of bitterness. I mean, I'm not bullshit. I have bitterness because deep down, I guess it shocks me with these rednecks that they really are this backwards, and they really are this ignorant, and they really are this stupid, and they really are. It really is this Flintstones, and it's like, man, like y'all don't get this, no, they don't want to, no. I'm weird, they're not, and I guess I have different ideas of what progressive politics really should be as well. Yeah, I think with the South, like, the politics are about, this guy right here is running behind me. I'm in the far right lane, 2 lanes open, this jackass. See what I'm saying? Like, it's just, these are the people who cause wrecks. I really don't think they understand, like, they're putting themselves in danger, tailgating and trying to cut people off, and the recklessness, to where when something happens, like, this is what I'm talking about, this asshole right here. I don't even get mad about it. They're really just stupid. The guy that hit me is one, I feel like in the South, leftist politics is all about, like, legalizing marijuana and things like that, and there are not any real progressive policies in a long-term direction. What I mean? Well, California, they got public banks now. Legalization of marijuana, of course, but they're looking at getting off of coal and all that kind of stuff. They're actually having a discussion. A part of me thinks, like, Trump was good because Trump is going to define us. Like, I feel like with COVID-19, it's a sink or swim moment. And it's going to define you, or you're just going to, I don't know, you're going to die, or you're going to get hurt. This is a defining moment, and sometimes I joke, I call myself the ghost that lives with the Flintstones, because that's what I am. Nobody agrees with me. Nobody agrees with me here, They may agree with me on certain things, but it's like Sam Cedar said it. We can't count on working class, and what he's talking about is uneducated people. They're from weed, and they're for maybe gay marriage. They're for that, but they're not for anything substantial. And see, what happens with that is you might have a conservative president that says, all right, I'll legalize marijuana federally, but I'm going to get my war. I'm going to, get these restrictions taken off me. And I feel like that, like, a lot of people now, working class, they don't care. Like, that's what happened for 9/11 and the war in Iraq, and they found out weapons of mass destruction was a lie. People, were kind of like, they don't really care. There was, the outrage kind of dissipated to where it's like apathy. Well, we don't have any control over this anyway. So they kept doing it. It's like a serial killer. He's been doing this for 20 years. He's still doing it. And y'all are like, well, he'll stop eventually, but he won't get my area. He won't kill my family members, anyone I work with. So it's just like, dude, no, we got to progress, And I just, that's just my whole feeling about the whole thing. Is that the ghost to live with the Flintstones, man. might have grouped me on certain things, but not, I guess I'm an activist, And I'm not saying there aren't black activists. It's just like with the blacks, it's like we want the police to stop killing us, and then I'd be like, some of these black men that get murdered like are doing stupid, like the dude that got shot running from the police, the one that happened got on the video, and the cop said closed casket. Like that dude, I don't feel bad for that guy. I think he was like on a high-speed chase. He was doing a video joking about it. Then I think he may have fired back at them, and they tried to tase him. Like that's that guy's a clown. That's somebody who would have eventually committed a serious crime. Like, I don't feel bad for guys like that. And I want to be clear about that I probably have more in common with Sam Cedar and with those guys than I do with the black group, because they're not like, there's no real progressive agenda there of any, of any real tangibility. There's nothing there. Nothing. It's just all about social issues. Someone made a statement about how the right can move left on social issues, but the left can't move right on economic. That's a lie. I don't believe that. I think it's the opposite. I think that's kind of outdated, because I think that maybe at one time that was true, but I think that the right, what the right has become is a vehicle for a culture war and for white supremacy. And so in that scope, with that exclusive scope, no, the right cannot move left, and they don't even want to. I've been talking about this since Trump been in office, and my friend Giselle has too, that there's certain things that they could do, Trump could do, that wouldn't cost me anything, just nice guy stuff, and he doesn't do it. Every time something happens and I say that, he doesn't do it. He doesn't. And I think honestly Trump likes being known as a hard ass. I think Trump likes the idea of being an asshole. I think Trump likes people knowing, I am this diabolical, I am this devious, I am this evil, and I get off for hurting people. Like Sam Cedar said earlier, the difference between Republicans and Democrats, the Republicans will shoot the hostages. They will kill the hostage. Like a lot of dudes, they're not going to kill hostages. Like if it comes down to it, they might mock it, but they're not going to kill people. To just, they're not going to like ruin lives just because they don't get what they want, So, I'm kind of bearded sometimes, and I know that I need to work on that, and I know it's not good. I know it's not helping me, and it's not going to help me spread my message. That's not something positive, and I try. And I probably start meditating again, start praying again. I got to work on it, because I don't want to become some old, bitter, dried up old man. I lived with one of them for years. I don't want to become that. I don't want people to injure me inside, because I'm beautiful. I'm a beautiful man, and I've got a heart of gold. I've got a heart of gold in here. I'm a good man, and I mean well. And sometimes people in the South, I deal with, blacks and whites, just, they frustrate me, man. They make me kind of angry. The stupidity and just this pride in being backwards. That's why I love California. I love being out there. It's just different environment, different aura, different situation, different everything. I feel like when I'm out there, I feel alive. And being in North Carolina, being in the South, I feel like I'm dying. Like really, like deep in, okay, this guy's going like 30 miles per hour on this thing. Like deep inside myself, I feel like getting older, and I don't want to do that. And it's like When I go to California, the clock sits back. Like winding the clock back up. Yeah, it's weird. It's been all over this country, and I've never felt like that. Ever. I've never had people treat me like that, ever. You know? It's really different. And I don't want to die. I know when I talk like this, it sounds like, I want to die, I'm suicidal. Oh. No, I mean, people I've met and people I follow on Instagram, and, you know, they're worth fighting for. They're worth defending. There's nothing in the South worth fighting for. At all. And going back to my bitterness again, it's just frustrating to me that people can't get certain things, that we can't move beyond certain things, that the social mindset can't develop. I look at this new generation of Republicans, and I don't really have any hope in them. New generation Republicans is like, basically it's like this. What Republicans are gonna do is they're gonna bullshit about climate change and everything else until they can't bullshit anymore, and they'll just say, well, I have a lot of solar panels because I want to save money or something. But it's not, you know, they'll never acknowledge that we're right. It's like working at SRT. I learned a lot about rednecks. I learned a lot about conservatives. They'll never acknowledge they're right or they're wrong. They'll just like slide into that new life. They won't say anything about it. And if you didn't live before, if you didn't deal with the old rednecks, the old crackers, you wouldn't realize like the whole paradigm is shifted to where we have to do this now. We have these new storms all the time now. We have the water rising now. You know, when they said, oh, well, that's all Agenda 21, communist world, global communist, new world order, you know, until, you know, and just to go off a little tangent here, just like Agenda 21, everything they planned out, a lot of that's not happening because we're in a much more militarized society. Trump has turned the world asunder. He's upended the whole world order. Just like that is not going to take place. That might have slowed down climate change and the events of what's coming. The same thing with coronavirus. People are not taking the recommendations seriously. And so, because of that, they've got to, you know, switch things up. There's going to be more deaths because it's just like the Trump era. I just realized, like, we're all on our own. Like, there is no federal government. Like Sam Cedar said it, man. Imagine being a governor and you're looking at these countries, these counties. People are like, I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not a girl. I'm a girl, you know. And you're a governor, and you're like, we've got to take action on these people in the country. But you know the federal government's not going to give you air cover. They're not going to, like, back you up. It's tough. Like, Trump, he's deserted everybody, man. And I'm not saying anything about Roy Cooper. You know, current governor, not saying anything bad about him. But I just realized, like, if for all of us, we're on our own, man. Like, we're on our own, dude. Each and every one of us, we're on our own. And that's why, going back to what I said before in the beginning, this is a defining moment for me. It really is a defining moment. You know, it kind of, I'm kind of humbled to be here in this moment, in this time. You know, I think, like, you know, my friend Denzel wants to get married. He's going to get married. And another friend of mine's got a business and all this. I just feel like we're watching the collapse of America. And I can't see myself having kids and all that in this kind of era. I think Denzel is, like, just following the path of, like, how he was raised to do things. And it's like, one thing I keep realizing is that this is not my mama's era. You know, I can't imagine raising kids in a world like this. That everything is getting tighter all around. I can't imagine raising children like this. You know, I just can't, guys. Like, this, the people I know that have kids, like I think about them sometimes. Like, man, I can't imagine seeing these black men getting murdered and this and that and the other. Like, I mean, I believe in overpopulation. I do believe in that stuff too. But it's not just overpopulation and all that. It's just the fact that this is a very different world. You know, this is a very different world. Like, even if I talk all the time about how I talk often about how, I don't want to get some harpy that's going to take all my money and stuff like. I talk about that really often. But even if I met the right girl, like a European woman or something like that, and I wasn't concerned about any of that kind of stuff, even if I did that and we were like hitting it off and stuff, I still look at the world around me and it's like, I can't imagine raising kids in this kind of environment. You know, it's one of those things that I talk often about how, when you learn about different things in the food and in the water, like, it makes it hard to live. And nobody around you cares about this stuff. Nobody cares. Nobody. You're just a weirdo. You're just a big weirdo. You're strange and you're weird, and you know, and you need to just go and get you a burger and get you a beer and forget about all that stuff. But you can't, because you know better. And when you know better, you do better. And you know, it affects every aspect of your life because you follow that path. That's another thing. I think the left has to be concerned about what's in our food, things like that. People out here don't care about that stuff, man. People out here just care about legalizing marijuana and other drugs. Like, when they talk about like liberalism and criminals and stuff, I get that. Like, they think like liberals like are like bringing about criminality and bringing about thugs and stuff. I get that. But on the same hand, I'd say the right wing brings about white supremacists. Mm-hmm. They bring up white supremacists. What about that? You know? So, you know, you've got bad aspects of both groups. Of course, I don't think they care about that stuff. Yeah. I don't think they care about terrorists. Like Sean Hannity was talking about them with the Klan outfits on and confronting police and all this kind of stuff. Sam City was like, yeah, who are these people with the Klan rags? That's not their threat. They think that's funny. They're like, well, that's their right to do so. So you don't have a problem with people running around with Nazi stuff on, but you had a problem with a black man kneeling on the sidelines of a football field? Him kneeling on a football field, what did that do to white people? What did that do to anybody? You waving that Nazi flag did a lot of things to a lot of Jews, to a lot of people in Romania and Soviet Union, and a lot of people died underneath that flag and that Klan shit. You know, that's because they don't care about that. They're not bothered by that stuff. We are. They just know, like Hitler did, that if you keep protesting this violence, you make things appear out of control. We want Trump to win. Wink, wink, wink. We want Trump to win, you know. They want him to win. And if you make it look like law and order, see, one thing about conservatives is their system requires law and order. It requires it. And if we've got people running around wild, which would still be going on, but if you've got it looking like things are running around wild, you don't have law and order. You see? That's all Trump had to offer was the environment and law and order and all that kind of stuff. But what we're watching is not law and order. We're watching mob rule. We're watching white supremacy run amok. That's what you're watching. That's what you see. And that's in essence what they were talking about on there. That they want him to win. And if these people out here keep running, because look, man, let me tell you something. It wouldn't take much for an accident to happen, and you'd have a mess. All these rednecks get killed, and they're gonna have martyrs, which is what they really want. They want to die. They want to die for white supremacy. It's not about being locked. It's not about quarantine. It's about any chance they can get to rise up and get, and because the culture war. All these protests and demonstrations about the culture war. It's not about quarantine. It's never about quarantine. This is about culture war. And this is about the Caucasian having abject control. And if he can't have abject control, then he's gonna burn. It's like somebody put it. It's just this very juvenile idea, this very childlike idea of what liberty is. That if I can't do everything I want to do whenever I want to do it, then I get my gun. Well, you're not the only one with a gun. That's it. Like, that's that whole idea. I've got mine, and if I can't play with my toys when I want to play with my toys, then damn it, there's gonna be consequences, and that's what that is. It's reckless, it's dangerous, it's petty, and it's just a ridiculous philosophy. But it's one that Trump has cultivated. It's one Trump has used from day one. It was here before Trump, be here after. That's why I said, this is Trumpism. This is what Trumpism is. And Trump, he's used it. He's used this anger and this rage, this culture war shit. He's used this to get elected and to possibly be reelected. He knows what's going on. You ain't stupid. You just low down. Peace.